So whenever the body is thrown only in horizontal direction, what is the ux here? What is the ux? U. Just u only. We are projecting in horizontal direction. And then uy is equals to what? 0. Why? Because we are projecting in horizontal direction, but we are taking which velocity? Vertical velocity. Then ax is equals to how much? 0. Why? Because again the body is moving under gravity only. Yes, ax is 0 and ay is equals to how much? Minus g. Always I said minus g. Okay. Then sx is equals to what we will get? Range r. And then sy is equals to minus h. Very good. These are the main components in the horizontal projectile we have discussed already. Then whenever I thrown the body in upward direction with an angle theta with horizontal. This is the second case. In that second case, what is the ux now? Tell me. Ux is equals to? Whenever we are projecting in upward direction, then the motion of the body will be there like this. So ux is equals to what we will get? U cos theta. Uy is equals to? U sin theta. Why? Because cos theta, u cos theta will be there like this and then u sin theta will be there like this. Uy is equals to u sin theta. Again ax is equals to what? 0 only. And ay is equals to minus g. Sx is equals to range r. And then sy is equals to minus h again. Then third case, see that we are projecting in downward direction. We are projecting in downward direction with an angle. How much angle is? Theta here. Then this component will be what? U cos theta. And the vertical component will be U sin theta. Now it is coming in downward direction like this. Now tell me what is ux? Ux is equals to what? U cos theta. Yes. Then uy is equals to what? Minus U sin theta. Very good. Then sx is equals to range again. Sy is equals to minus h. Of course that is always minus h only. Why? Because we have to consider what? The point of projection as origin. Everything below the origin is minus. Then ax is equals to what? 0 and ay is equals to minus g always. These are the things we have discussed in the horizontal projectile, and then from the top of a tower, and then projecting in upward direction from the top of a tower, and projecting in downward direction from the top of a tower. Now in these three cases, I will ask some general questions. Among these three cases, I will ask some general question, that is, for example, I have thrown an object u1 and then another object u2 and then dropped another object u3 is equals to 0. Dropped another object u3. Then what happens? How u1 will go and then fall like this. How u2 will go? u2 also will go in the same direction but with the less velocity I have projected. And then u3 will fall like this. Then tell me which will reach the ground first. Think properly. First of all, think properly. What I have done? I have taken an object A and then I have thrown with some velocity. And I have taken another object B. I have thrown in the same direction. I have taken another object C and then dropping from the same height. So which will reach the ground first? I am asking that question. C will reach the ground first. Then anybody else? U1 will reach the ground first. Then I am saying that which will reach the first, nothing but what you have to consider there? Time only, na? Time of flight. What is the time of flight formula for us? T is equals to under root 2h by g. Ground to ground projection nothing but 2u sin theta by g. Whenever from the top of a tower in horizontal projectile we have seen that T is equals to what is the formula? Under root 2h by g. So for all the bodies T is under root 2h by g. Same height or different heights? All are projecting from same height, so that time will be same or different? Same time will be there. Understand it clearly? So here the time of flight, if you see the horizontal projectile, this first case formulas, there time is equals to what is the formula we got? Under root 2h by g. Range is equals to what we got? U into under root 2h by g. These are the formulas in the first case whenever we are projecting only in horizontal direction. And the same time what I am doing nothing but here I am projecting something with u1 velocity, another with u2 velocity but with less velocity, another is I am just dropping from the same height only, I am not changing the height. So from the same height nothing but what is the time formula? Generally T is equals to under root 2h by g. So for each case that is T is under root 2h by g only. Height is same or different? Same height. So that they will reach at the same time, otherwise different times. Same time only. Okay, that basic logic that is. For example, I have hold one cricket ball in my hand and then I have hold in the cotton ball. Air absence, air is not there. In the absence of air resistance, I am just dropping both. Cricket ball and then just cotton ball. Which will reach the ground first? Both will reach at the same time. Most of the people will think that cricket ball will reach the faster. Both will reach at the same time. Why? Because time is not depending on the mass. T is equals to what is the formula? Under root 2h by g. Always time is not at all depends on the mass. So which is having heavier mass? Cricket ball is having more mass and then cotton ball is having less mass. People will think that which is having more mass that will reach the ground first. But that will never happen. What happens means T is equals to under root 2h by g. So T is directly proportional to what? Under root h only. It is not at all depending on the mass. So that what happens? Both will reach at the same time. If air is there nothing but due to the air which will move? Cotton ball only will move, so that it will travel more distance and then further it will reach ground slowly whenever the air is there. In absence of air resistance, what happens? Nothing but both will reach at the same time. For example, if I drop this cap and then this marker, then both will reach at the same time. Both will make the sound at the same time. Why? Because air is absent here. There is no air resistance here. So what happens means they are purely depending on what? Height only. Both are dropped from the same height, so that both are reaching at the same time. Understand right clearly? So this case you understand? What is the time formula? T is equals to under root 2h by g. So three bodies are having same height, so that they will reach at the same time. Did you take this point? No, right? Write that note point. Note point. If two objects A and B, are projected horizontally from the top of a tower with velocities u1 and u2, and another object u3 is dropped from the same point, then they will reach the ground at the same time, because time does not depend on the velocity. It depends only on the height. As all the objects being projected from the same height from same height, comma, they will take same time. They will take same time. Done? Draw the diagram. Write that TA is equals to TB is equals to TC, that is equals to under root 2H by G. Done? Yes. Next, projectile motion on inclined plane. First one is ground to ground projection is finished. Next one is projectile from the top of a tower is finished. Next one is projectile on the inclined plane. This is not much important for NEET, but safe side will learn this. So, here first of all we are projecting some object on the inclined plane. For example, you are standing on a hill. So that you are projecting, hill will be inclined only, no, obviously. So that we are just throwing some object onto the hill. Then what happens, how much range it will take, how much height it will take, that and all will measure. So here we are projecting the object from the top of a inclined plane. First of all, how to take the components of G on the inclined plane. For example, if I take an object of mass m here, an angle theta here. So how to take the components along the inclined plane? mg sin theta will be there. How it will come? Whoever did not come for the first classes, listen properly. Downwards what will act always? mg will act. So that mg is acting here. Clearly mg is acting. Then this mg will have two components. Why? Because this is acting vertically in downward direction. I want the component along the inclined plane. So for that purpose, what I will do, nothing but I will take one of the component along the inclined plane like this, another component like this. Obviously both should be perpendicular to each other. Now here if I take angle theta, this angle will be how much? Tell me. 90 minus theta. See this is the triangle. If you see this smaller triangle, are you able to see that? Yes, this is theta, means this will be how much? 90 minus theta. If this is 90 minus theta, means this will be what? Theta. That's it, finished. So this is mg, this is theta, means this component will be what? mg cos theta, this will be mg sin theta. You understand, right? Clearly. So see this, obviously the right angle triangle will have how much angle? Nothing but totally 180. Here 90 is finished. Here theta is finished. So here how much will be there? 90 minus theta. If this is 90 minus theta, means next angle will be how much? Theta. Adjacent angle will be theta. So here mg is there, you remove this one now. Here mg is there in downward direction, here theta is there, means this will be what? mg cos theta. For theta this is adjacent only, no? That is mg cos theta. Then opposite will be what? mg sin theta. You understand it clearly? So listen again. This is the inclined plane I have taken. Now here I want to take the components of G. Angle how much? Theta I am taking here. Then downwards what is acting? G is acting. Now I want to take the components of this G. Components along the inclined plane, and then like this we have to take 90 degrees to each other. Now if I take this as a smaller triangle, here I am cutting the triangle. This angle is how much? Obviously 90. If this is theta, means the remaining angle will be how much? 90 minus theta. See, the total angle should be 90 minus theta plus theta plus 90 is equals to how much totally? 180 obviously. Clear? If this is 90 minus theta means next angle will be, immediate angle will be how much? Theta. Now this one is g and then adjacent is theta means this component will be g cos theta and then this is g sin theta. Very very important in laws of motion, we will discuss this more. Always along the inclined plane which angle will be there? Sine angle will be there. G sin theta will be there. Understand it clearly? Now the same thing will apply here also. Here I am projecting the object with what velocity? U velocity. At what angle? Alpha angle. Alpha angle with respect to what? Vertical. With respect to, not vertical, this is the inclined plane. See this here? Alpha is the angle here, no? This is the, you just consider, don't consider this as a x-axis, this as a y-axis. Okay, you might be considered like that and then only you are telling that as a vertical. Okay, na? I am considering this one as a x-axis and then this one as a y-axis. You are able to understand that? I did not consider this as a x-axis, this is wrong. This is wrong. I am saying that along the inclined plane x-axis is there, along opposite to the inclined plane which is there, y-axis is there. Now I am projecting with some angle means it will go and then fall on the inclined plane like this, obviously. So this distance what I can consider that as a range I can consider. Okay. Now alpha is what? Alpha is the angle of projection with respect to what? Inclined plane. With respect to the inclined plane. Beta is what? What is the beta? Angle of inclination of which one? Inclined plane. See that. For example, I consider this as the inclined plane. Look at this exactly. Okay. Now with respect to the horizontal, what is the angle of inclination here? Beta is the angle of inclination. From this I am projecting something in upward direction. So with what angle I am projecting here? Alpha angle. Alpha is the angle with respect to the inclined plane. Beta is the angle of inclination. Okay, beta is the angle of inclination. So if I take horizontally, now I am lifting this one with what angle? Beta angle. Above that with what angle I am projecting? Alpha angle. And also this book, whatever the book I have taken, that book is the x-axis. Not this one. This is not x-axis now. I am considering this one as the x-axis. Okay. And then opposite will be what? Y-axis obviously. You understand it clearly? This is little difficult it is going to be. Why? Because we are changing the dimensions there. X-axis, y-axis we are changing. So it is going to be little bit difficult, so that listen properly first of all. So I am not taking horizontal is x-axis. Which one I am taking as x-axis? Inclination I am taking as x-axis and opposite to that y-axis. What is the beta here? Angle of inclination. Alpha is what? Angle of projection with respect to which axis? X-axis. Okay, alpha is the angle of projection. Alpha is angle of projection. Angle of projection with respect to x-axis. X-axis is not horizontal now. Okay, take it properly. X-axis is not horizontal and then x-axis is what? Inclination only. Then beta is what? Beta is angle of inclination. Now first of all I want to take time of flight. For taking time of flight I want to prove the time of flight. For time of flight generally which formula we will take? Not 2u sin theta, but which axis we will take generally? Y-axis is no displacement along the y-axis. Sy is equals to what is the formula we will take? U by t plus half a by t square. Then after landing on the inclined plane, what is the height? 0 only. After landing, I am jumping and then landing on the ground. What is my height? 0 only, no? What is my displacement between the ground and my legs? That is 0 only. So it is also going and then falling on the inclined plane only. What is the height here? Here height means don't consider from here to here. That's very wrong. What I said, I am taking this one as x-axis. On the x-axis, what is the value of y? Value of y is 0. You just consider that this is the horizontal direction only. Everything is horizontal. This one is horizontal direction you consider. Okay. So now I am taking After landing on the inclined plane, y is equals to how much? 0. Now what is the uy? Uy is equals to what? See that this is the u, right? This is alpha, means this will be what? U cos alpha, and then the vertical will be what? U sin alpha. Along the y-axis u sin alpha, along the x-axis u cos alpha. Now here g will act, right? G will act here. Downward direction g is there. Along the inclination what will get? G sin theta means what theta here? Beta. So that g sin beta. And then opposite to that is g cos beta. Whatever I have told here, the same thing only. Here theta angle is there, here beta angle is there. Nothing is changed. Now here this one is u cos alpha, and then opposite one is u sin alpha. Now tell me all the components. Ux is equals to what we got? Ux is equals to, along the x-axis, what is the component of velocity? U cos alpha. Along the x-axis we have the velocity u cos alpha. Uy is equals to u sin alpha, and then ax is equals to what? Ax is equals to what? G sin beta. But G sin beta is acting along which direction? Opposite direction to the x-axis. Correct? So that what I can write? Minus G sin beta. And then Ay is equals to? Ay is equals to, this is the y-axis, na? This is the y-axis. This one is what? Negative y-axis. So that what I can write? Minus G cos beta. Those are the main components we will take. So here you have to use that. Sy is 0. 0 is equals to uy is what? U sin alpha into time of flight I have to find out, plus half into what is the ay value? Minus G cos beta into the time of flight square. Now here what I can write? Half G cos beta t square is equals to u sin alpha t. Then t gets cancelled. T is equals to what? 2u sin alpha by G cos beta. General projectile formula is what? Time of flight? T is equals to 2u sin theta by G. But here what we are getting? G cos beta extra. Everything is same as it is. There theta is the angle of projection. Here what is the angle of projection? Alpha is the angle of projection. So instead of 2u sin theta, we are getting 2u sin alpha. Okay. But G will changes. Why? Because G will be divided into two components. One of the component what we will get here? Nothing but G cos beta we will get. Nothing but clearly a shortcut formula I can make here as T is equals to 2 into u sin alpha means which component? Uy by G cos beta nothing but what? Ay. Okay, minus ay. Of course we are projecting in upward direction, so minus ay. So this is a general formula we will get. In that what is the formula for us? What is the formula of general formula of time of flight? 2uy by g. Here 2uy by gy. That's it. 2uy by gy. Okay, everything time of flight we will measure along which axis? Y-axis only, no? So that everything I am measuring along the y-axis, and then I am getting t is equals to 2uy by gy. Understand it clearly? Copy that, I will explain again. Copy that. Draw the diagram properly. ಹೌದಾ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಫೋನು ಏಯ್ ಪ್ರಜ್ವಲ You are covering the entire board only. ಮುಂದೆ ಅವ್ರು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಯಾರು ನೀವು ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಬೆಂಚಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕಷ್ಟೇ ಹೋಗಿ ನೀವು ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಬೆಂಚ್ ಹೋಗಿ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ ಅವ್ರು ಬರ್ತಾರೆ ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ ನೀವು ಬರ್ತಾರೆ ಅವರು ಅವ್ರ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಈಗ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಬೆಂಚ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗು ಈಜೆ ಕಷ್ಟ You are ready to write like that, but you are not ready to go to the first bench. ಎಷ್ಟು ಸೆಲ್ಫಿಶ್ ಇದೆ ಪ್ರಜ್ವಲ್ ನೀವು In girls only Netra gone, only Netra. One more days color girl absent. New rain. Boys 4 members Jamakandi, Aste. Harsha, Gautam Guda. Dana? Finished? Listen here first. Listen here. Later on you can write. So here, I am not considering x-axis as horizontal. I am considering which is x-axis? Inclination is the x-axis. Directly inclined plane only I am taking as x-axis. Opposite to that is exactly y-axis. Now, here beta is what? What is the beta? Angle of inclination. Nothing but inclined plane angle is beta here. Then angle of projection is what? On the inclined plane, alpha is the angle of projection. So, whenever I projected some object with a velocity u and an angle how much? Alpha with the x-axis only directly. X-axis is nothing but what? Inclined plane only. So that with x-axis I project with alpha means then horizontal component will be what? U cos alpha. Vertical component is u sin alpha. Now about the velocity is finished. Now we will take about the acceleration. The body is again moving under which force? Gravitational force only. So downwards gravity is acting, downwards g is acting, and then for that I am taking into two components. One is along the inclination, another is opposite to the inclination. If angle of inclination is beta means this angle will be how much? Wherever I put my finger, 90 minus beta. Next angle is beta. Here g, here beta means then adjacent component will be what? G cos beta, opposite component will be g sin beta. Now if you see along the x-axis, what is the velocity? U cos alpha. Along the y-axis, what is the velocity? U sin alpha. Along the x-axis, what is the acceleration? Minus g sin beta. Why? Because g sin beta is acting in which direction? Opposite to the positive x-axis. Correct? Then acceleration along the y-axis. Along the y-axis nothing but upwards. But the g cos beta is acting exactly in downwards. See that both are parallel to each other, right? So that g cos beta minus g cos beta is a ay I have considered here. Now after that I want to find out the time of flight. For finding the time of flight, always we will take which equation? S is equals to ut plus half at square along which direction? Vertical direction. So that sy is equals to uyt plus half ayt square. After landing on the inclined plane, what is the displacement of the body? 0 only, no? Total displacement in which direction? Vertical direction. Started from 0 and then ending at the 0 only. Total vertical displacement is 0 here. Uy is how much? U sin alpha into time of flight plus half into ay is how much? Minus g cos beta into t square. Then From that I will get T is equals to what? 2u sin alpha by g cos beta. U sin alpha nothing but what? Uy. G cos beta nothing but what? Gy. So that Gy. G along the y-axis is g cos beta. That is the answer. Next, after that, we will find out the range. Next one is range. So it has to cover the range. For covering the range, what it has to do? It has to cover total how much distance here? R here. Shall we find out the maximum height otherwise before? Yes, we will find out the maximum height. That will be easy. H max. Now in this very basic logic is there. Very basic logic. Whenever it is covering the maximum height, nothing but how much time it is taking. See that it is going to the maximum height, nothing but how much time it will take. Half of the total time of flight only, na? Time of ascent only. Ground to maximum height. What is that? Time of ascent. Time of ascent nothing but what? Total time of flight divided by 2 only. T divided by 2 only. Now I want to find out the height. So that which formula I can use? S is equals to ut plus half at square only again. Why? Because we are having acceleration here. So that Sy is equals to uyt plus half ayt square. Now Sy is what? H maximum. At what time? T by 2 time. For the total time, what is the H? 0. For the half time, what is the H means? H maximum. So that this is the H maximum. Uy is what again? U sin alpha into T is what? T by 2. T by 2 nothing but what will get here? 2u sin alpha by g cos beta is total T. T by 2 I have to get nothing but what? U sin alpha by g cos beta. U sin alpha by g cos beta plus half ay is what again? Minus g cos beta into again t is nothing but what? T by 2 whole square. T by 2 whole square nothing but u sin alpha by g cos beta whole square. The main thing is you have to understand here this one only. It is reaching the maximum height nothing but how much time it is covering? Half of the total time. See, from here to here is T. So from here to maximum height is how much? T by 2 only, no? So that T by 2 time only it is covering. Again I will take the formula S is equals to ut plus half at square. S along the y-axis. What is S along the y-axis? We are taking that as a maximum height only. H maximum only. So H is equals to uy means what? U sin alpha. I am saying that how much time it is taking to reach the maximum height? Half of the time of flight only, na? To reach the ground to maximum height. What is the time taken? Time of ascent. Time of ascent is equals to what? Total time of flight by 2 only. Why? Because always time of ascent plus time of descent is equals to what? T. So the time of ascent is equals to what? Time of descent. So that 2 time of ascent is equals to T. Then time of ascent is equals to how much? T by 2. Again time of descent also what? T by 2 only. T by 2 plus T by 2 gives you how much? Total T only. Now this is T by 2. You have to take this one as total T by 2. This one also T by 2 whole square. That is what I have substituted. Then here from here what I can write? U square sin square alpha by g cos beta. Here what will come? Minus half g cos beta into u square sin square alpha by g square cos square beta. Then one of the g cos beta gets cancelled here. Then here u square sin square alpha by g cos beta I will take as common. Then what is remaining? 1 minus half. Nothing is there, no? So that 1 minus gives half gives you how much? Half only again. So that u square sin square alpha by 2g cos beta. This is the H maximum. Generalized formula what you can write? U y square by 2 into gy. Gy is what? G cos beta only, no? So that is a H maximum. What is our H maximum formula for the projectile motion? U square sin square theta by 2g. Here u square sin square theta by 2g cos beta. Very easy to remember the formulas. Okay, there is no need to, you have to understand the total derivation. Of course, if you don't understand also, just a simple logic. Their time of flight is what? 2u sin theta by g. Here t is equals to 2u sin theta by g into the cos of the inclination angle. Okay, again this is also everything you will get that only. But for the range it will be little different. Okay, you understand, right, that one? Yes. Right, one small note you write there. Maximum height. Maximum height, first of all, in maximum height, the time taken by the object, to reach the maximum height, is half of the time of flight. Copy that. We will discuss the paper in the afternoon session. Why I have taken half of the time of flight here? What is the reason? Time taken to the maximum height is time of ascent. Time of ascent is half of the time of flight. Next one is range. Range on the projectile. On the inclined plane, I'm sorry. Range on the inclined plane. So, which formula we will use for the range generally? Displacement equation along which axis? X-axis only, no? Obviously here, range nothing but what? Displacement along which axis? X-axis. So that Sx is equals to what I can write? Uxt plus half Axt square. In the projectile motion, everywhere Ax was 0. So that was so easy for us. But now it is not 0 here. What is the Ax value? Minus g sin beta. So little calculation will be there. In all the horizontal projectile, otherwise projectile from the height and then ground to ground projectile, wherever you take, Ax is equals to how much we have considered? 0 only, no? Only Ux into time of flight we have considered. That was so easy. But here Ax is not 0. That is how much? Minus g sin beta. That you have to substitute. So Sx is equals to what generally? Range. Ux means what? U cos alpha into, it is covering the entire projectile motion. What you have to take? Total time of flight, that is capital T. T is equals to capital T. Then what is the capital T formula? 2u sin alpha by g cos beta. Just 2u sin theta by g only, but here extra you have to put as cos beta, that's it. Plus half into, what is the ax value? Minus g sin beta. And then what is the t value again? 2u sin alpha by g cos beta whole square. Then here, what will get here? U cos alpha plus 2u sin alpha. Keep it like that only. Then that is g cos beta minus, what will get here? Half g sin beta into, what will get here? 2u square. 2u square nothing but 4u square sin square alpha by g square cos square beta. That is what we will get here. Now, in both the terms, what is common? You can take u square. I can take u square common, so that simply I will take it as 2u square sin alpha cos alpha, no? So that in both the terms, what is common here? U square is common. Of course, 2 also common. Yes, 2 also common, and then which is common here? Sin alpha is common, and also g cos beta also common only. Let me take that as outside. 2u square sin alpha by g cos beta. That's it, no? And then here what is remaining? Cos alpha is remaining. Everything is gone outside. Only cos alpha is remaining. Cos alpha minus, one of the g gets cancelled right here. One of the g gets cancelled. Then g came outside. There is no g here. Correct? Let me write that one. Cos alpha minus, what is remaining here? Sin beta. And also what is remaining? One sin alpha came outside, no? Another sin alpha is there. Sin alpha divided by, what is remaining now, tell me? From g square cos beta, what came outside? G cos beta came outside. What is remaining here? G cos beta is remaining. One of the g also got cancelled. Then only which one is remaining? Cos beta is remaining. Understand it? Everybody see that? I have taken sin alpha outside, sin alpha gone. G cos beta I have taken outside, g gone, and then one of the cos beta gone. Then what is remaining here? Only sin beta is remaining, sin alpha is remaining, cos beta is remaining. That is what is remaining here. Now after that, 2u square sin alpha by g cos beta. Whenever you see, what you will remember? One more u is not there means this will be what? Time of flight only, no? Then 2u sin alpha by g cos beta. I will take cos beta as LCM here. Cos beta. Then what I can write? Cos alpha cos beta minus sin alpha sin beta. Which formula this is? Cos A plus B. Cos A plus B formula is cos A cos B minus sin A sin B. Now, see that R is equals to again 2u square sin alpha by g cos beta. So total numerator what I can take that as? Cos of alpha plus beta. Why? Because that is in the form of cos A plus B formula. Cos A cos B minus sin A sin B. And also what is remaining here? Cos beta is remaining. Then total range will be what? 2u square sin alpha into cos alpha plus beta by g cos square beta. That is a range. Otherwise you want to remember in the shortcut form, R is equals to, if you take time of flight here, what you will take time of flight as? 2u sin alpha by g cos beta you will take as time of flight. So time of flight into one more u is remaining, no? U is remaining, cos alpha plus beta by, still what is remaining? Cos beta is remaining. That's it. This is a R is equals to, of course this is ux into t only again. So here u cos alpha plus beta by cos beta into time of flight. Clear? So I will explain again, listen properly. Now here I am finding the range here. Range on which one? Range on the projectile, range on the inclined plane. If range on the horizontal, that will be different. They will never ask that one. Range on the inclined plane only asking. So the inclined plane is along which axis? X axis. So that Sx is equals to uxt plus half axt square. It is covering the entire projectile motion. So what is the time taken here? Time of flight. So that t is equals to time of flight. Then r is equals to ux means what? U cos alpha into time of flight formula already you know that 2u sin alpha by g cos beta plus half into ax is minus g sin beta, then that into 2u sin alpha by g cos beta whole square. Why? Because t square we have taken here. Now from here I have written this one as 2 u into u will be u square sin alpha cos alpha that divided by g cos beta minus half into g sin beta. Here I am just applying the square for this. After applying the square, what I am doing here means I am just cancelling one of the g with g. Listen this one again. You might be confused here a little bit. So g sin beta into what will come here? 4 u square sin square alpha by g square cos square beta. This one we are having already. So this 2 gets cancelled. First one, this g gets cancelled. Then anything else? Nothing getting cancelled. But here from there what I am taking outside? 2u square sin alpha by g cos beta. 2u square sin alpha by g cos beta. Everything is finished. What is remaining? Only cos alpha is remaining. Minus again 2u square sin alpha by g cos beta. 2 finished, u square finished, sin alpha finished, divided by g finished, cos beta finished. Clear? Then what is remaining here? Sin beta is remaining, another sin alpha is remaining, another cos beta is remaining. Now it is clear everybody? Then from that again I am taking cos beta as LCM, then cos alpha cos beta minus sin alpha sin beta, and that divided by cos beta. This is in the form of cos A plus B formula. Cos A cos B minus sin A sin B. So that what I can write here? Cos alpha plus beta by cos beta. That is simple thing. Now the range formula, the everything will be same whenever we are projecting from top to bottom also. For example, you might be projecting like this also. There is a chance for that also, no? So at that time of flight again what is the formula? 2u sin alpha by g cos beta only. Maximum height formula is what? U square sin square alpha by 2g cos beta. U square sin square theta by 2g. Along with that what will get extra? Cos beta will get extra. Both will be same only, but the range will changes. The range formula will be what? Means r is equals to 2u square sin alpha cos alpha minus beta. Alpha minus beta you have to take. Why? Because we are projecting in which direction? Opposite direction. Here alpha is there, but here beta is there. So that they will get subtracted, that divided by g cos square beta. This is whenever we are projecting from the top of the inclined plane to the down of the inclined plane. This generally will be what? Down to top everywhere will measure, and then this one is top to bottom again. This is not much important. For the NEET it is not much important, but you should get small idea about the formulas. One is for the projectile motion, what is the range form, what is the time of flight formula for us? 2u sin theta by g for the projectile motion. So instead of theta what will get here? Alpha. Instead of g what will get here? G cos beta. That's it, finished. Then maximum height formula is what? U square sin square theta by 2g we will get for the normal ground to ground projection. For the inclined plane what will get? U square sin square alpha by 2g cos beta. Immediately you have to put cos beta extra, that's it. Then for the range generally formula is what? R is equals to this kind of formula. 2 u square sin theta cos theta by g only, no, you will get 2 sin theta cos theta will be what? Sin 2 theta we will take. So 2u square as it is. G is there means immediately what will get? G cos beta we will get extra. So sin alpha is there, but cos alpha plus beta. Here we are getting extra beta, extra cos beta. Here also we are getting extra cos beta. In addition here in multiplication. That's it. That is how you can remember shortcut formulas. So generally what is the formula? R is equals to 2u square sin theta cos theta by g is the general formula. The same thing for the inclined plane, R is equals to 2u square, alpha only na, instead of theta what will take? Alpha. So that sin alpha by generally what will take? G cos beta. This is our general formation. Here what is there extra? Cos theta. So instead of cos theta you take instead of alpha plus beta. Here you are adding cos beta. Here you have to multiply the cos beta. That's it. The formula is same. This one is not much important, but remember, as much you can, that much you try. Okay na? Then copy everything. I think I have to change this step. Copy that. Stop the